Writing, good writing, is often about creating emotion. It's about crafting your words in such a way that it creates an emotional connection with your reader. Often, the very best books are the books that move us to feel something. But when we are writing, we may or may not be feeling that emotion. So, what if we could learn to follow the feelings to make our writing less effortless? Hello. If we haven't met before, I am Dr. Denise, and I have a lot of irons in the fire, which is why you may have caught me in a bit of a mess. I am the author of books, I'm a college professor, I am a homeschool mom, a wife, a parent. I have lots of responsibilities, kind of like I bet you do too. And so, like you, I write in the margins of my life. So, I'm going to clean up. And while I do that, let's chat about how we can follow emotional states to actually make our writing a little less effortful. I used to waste a lot of time fighting myself. I was trying to get more and more disciplined about writing, and I wonder if maybe you have fallen into that trap too. You want to make every word count. You want to push yourself to use every bit of writing time for publication. Well, it's easy to do. In this content generating world with the insatiable appetite for reading more and more and more, you can write a lot, and yet there is still more to write. So here's where feelings come in. After a while of being on the treadmill, you start to rebel against your own desires to write more. Why? Well, your body is protecting you from yourself. You don't know how to balance writing more with writing for fun. That feels a lot better. So, one of the things that I know about myself is that when my environment gets cluttered, it's usually because my life is cluttered. I tend to have a lot of things going on and I'm not able to keep up. And so I don't put things back where they go, they just kind of land somewhere. And when that continues for a few days or a few weeks, then I start to feel it internally. Things are out of balance, things are out of order, and I feel the stress of that. I wonder if your environment reflects what's happening internally for you too. Well, now that I've got this in order, let's talk a little bit more about how to follow the emotions to write a little more effortlessly. When you are resisting your writing, you have good reason. It's like your body knows that you don't have time for that, or your body knows that you are trying to do something that really this isn't the season for you to be doing that. Or your body just knows that you need to rest some. And so often that resistance is just about getting your attention because you're not taking care of something that you need. So if these days you are feeling some resistance around your writing, just pause and ask why. What is it that you need? Today, I didn't feel like I could start writing because things were such a mess. I felt like what I really needed to do was clean things up. And cleaning off my desk really didn't take me that long. But now that it's done, I feel like my environment is ordered enough that I can write. But you know what would be a good thing to write today? I can write about that frenzied feeling, that feeling that there's too much to do, that everything around me is calling out for my attention because I'm living it today. And by capturing what I'm living today, I can really get to the nitty gritty of some of that emotion. That is how we connect with our readers. So, what are you feeling today? Maybe you find yourself procrastinating. You're poking down all different kinds of rabbit holes and you're just checking things out and you're way off task of what you really want to be doing. Well, you know why you're doing that? Because your attention needs that. You have a need to be entertained. You have a need for curiosity to be satisfied. And sometimes your brain just wants a little bit of that. But if you are always disciplined, always get the next task done, then you're not giving your brain the balance that it needs. And that's not just for those of us who might be a little ADHD. All of us need balance in our lives. And if you're leaning towards working hard and being very ritualistic with your routines, then you also need to lean the other way of being unstructured and undisciplined. And sometimes that resistance or whatever's coming out for you is about needing that balance. So write about it. Write about that tension between the two things that you desperately crave. I wonder what it would be like if instead of beating yourself up or having that critical self talk because you're wandering around in your writing or you're not as focused as you should be, what if you just enjoyed the process? And really, that's what I'm inviting you to do today. When I talk about following the feelings, I mean being in the moment. I mean noticing what is happening right now. Sometimes those emotions are uncomfortable, but sometimes they're really pleasant emotions, but we brush them aside because we're off to the next thing. What if in this moment you could write about what you are feeling now? And you could write with authenticity and genuineness, and you could write from a place of observing it firsthand in the moment. Maybe if your mind is really prone to wandering today, maybe today gets to be an unscheduled day and you get to just let your mind wander a little bit. As creatives, we need that time. We need time to not be so disciplined about everything that we are doing. Now, it may be that I'm just preaching to the choir here. I find that the way that I'm productive and the way that I get things done is because I am a planner and I am disciplined. I have harnessed the power of being a tortoise and winning the race. But honestly, I am way more of a bunny in my natural state. But I need both, and you do too. So if today you are feeling stressed, maybe you journal about that emotion. And then maybe you list the things you need to get done and you order them. And then, as Dale Carnegie says, you contain today and only worry about that. But you now have the opportunity to write about feeling anxiety in the moment. Harness that even as you are capitalizing on feeling that emotion. If your mind is buzzing because you just got this really great idea from a book you read or a video that you watched, well, capture that in your journal, but also capture what it's like to feel that idea buzzing in your head, those electrical currents going off, and how exciting and fun it is to start to put things together in a new way. Then you can describe that for your readers. If you are tired and moving slowly, like you are trudging through molasses, you're having trouble even getting your day going, well, journal about that. Describe what that muddy, slow feeling is like. And again, you're harnessing it as you are experiencing about it, not at the time that you actually need to describe that emotion for your readers. This becomes a bank of description so that you are in touch with emotions at a much closer level and you have more of a capacity to connect with your readers through emotion. If you are reeling from a painful experience, maybe today's the day that you work on a portion of your manuscript that is all about hurting. Because you're right there. You know what that emotion is like and you can capture it. So here's a couple of tips. So, if your emotion is about your writing, you are feeling a strong emotion directed at the act of writing, use your journal to get that emotion out, to kind of break through that obstacle of resistance, to identify what it is you are resisting, and maybe do a little problem solving to help to make it better. While you are doing that, you may also describe what it is like to have that feeling. And just maybe have a section of your journal that is about descriptions, and you just capture today's description of how you are feeling emotionally. But the second kind of emotion that you may be feeling may be about life, about things that are not related to what you are experiencing with your writing. If that is the case, again, harness that emotion, describe it in vivid detail in your journal, bank it for when you need it in your manuscript. Or alternatively, go into your manuscript and write a section that needs that kind of emotion today. That will give your writing a lot more authenticity. And this works whether you write fiction, where it naturally fits, or nonfiction, because we are connecting with our readers in nonfiction through emotion as well. So, the point of today's video is that we all feel emotion, but it is that emotion that makes our writing vivid and connects with our readers. It gives us the opportunity to describe things that are part of the human experience. So while you are feeling those emotions, whether it be overwhelmed because things are getting out of control, whether it be joy because you've witnessed a new life, connecting with our own emotions, we make our writing a little more effortless, even when we don't need to describe those emotions until a later date. Your journal gives you the opportunity to capitalize on what you are feeling today.